The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings. It is the Week 9 recap. We are going to be guessing the spreads for Week 10 towards the end of the show. Unfortunately, our guest is not going to be on the line for that because he's a known cheater who probably already knows the lines. It's Rob Pizzola. Thanks for joining.
No problem. I'm not a known cheater. I don't already know the lines or anything like that, but I do have to do my own other thing afterwards. And I'm just living and dying by the end of this Cowboys game right now. So a lot going on, but it was a good day, Pat. I'm happy to be here.
It was a very bad day for me. Probably my not a good time to have my worst week of the season for projecting players out at all. Didn't realize that Tyson Bagent is Michael Vick. That didn't help. Justin Watson, you think, the guy has the most targets on the Chiefs. Would he get 25 or more yards? Probably. You can't be watching this. I'm turning that off if you're just going to stare at that game the entire time and not listen to a word I'm saying.
I am listening to you.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay, continue with what I was talking about.
That
What else?
Michael Bagent turned into Michael Vick this day.
That's not Michael Bagent is a real.
Well, Michael Bagent's not, yeah.
Tyler Bagent, sorry.
That's also not a real person.
That's
Isn't that his name?
No.
Whatever. No. Who cares?
Well, it'd be nice if you were listening and not just looking over there when I'm trying to talk to you. Make it part of a communal show. It'd be nice.
Okay, fine.
But Rob, guess who I played in King of the Beach to qualify for the finals? What quarterback?
Jaron Hall.
No, I mean, that probably would have been better than playing fucking Bryce Young, who was awful. Awful.
Right? Imagine drafting Bryce Young over CJ Stroud. Like, it's literally set the franchise back like a half decade just because the owner wanted a different quarterback. Congratulations, Carolina. You have an absolute lemon at quarterback.
It was bad, man. He threw 3 touchdowns. 2 were to the wrong team. I kind of wish I got credit for those ones. That would have been nice. But Tambo, Tambo's moving on to Miami, though. So congratulations to Tambo. We can say his play. He said whatever his best lineup if he gets them through. So he's got one through. So 10% of whatever he makes in King of the Beach in 2 weeks' time in Miami, he is giving away to one of the viewers who enters whatever we come up with over the next 2 weeks.
How magnanimous.
So he could win. Someone could get $30K easy if Tambo wins.
Santa Tambo.
So we're watching the end of this Eagles and Cowboys game. It's 28-23. So, Rob, you're a Cowboys fan, but you bet on the Eagles.
Correct, which I've done before and had mixed success doing so. I'm rooting for the Cowboys right now, just to make it abundantly clear. It's very challenging when you have money on the line, but I am a Cowboys fan at heart. I hope they drive the field and win this game.
I'm guessing you may have wagered on the Bengals, too, given that you're wearing a Bengals jacket for tonight's show.
I have wagered on the Bengals, and I'm actually just reading right now that Josh Allen still has not taken the field for warmups yet. And there's like some growing speculation about his status tonight, which would be, I mean, it would put a damper on the game. I'd be happy for it from a betting perspective, but just want to see Bengals-Bills at full strength.
What if Josh Allen doesn't play, but they start DeMar Hamlin at quarterback?
DeMar Hamlin has been ruled inactive tonight. Jeff Feinberg celebrating somewhere that he's right about the comeback player of the year, whatever. DeMar Hamlin's not getting his game tonight. Officially inactive. Honestly, kind of shame on McDermott, man. Like, just, do you need that roster spot for like a special teams player or something like that? Just have Hamlin play a few snaps tonight.
He is a special teams player
That's
at this
it.
point, so it wouldn't really make that big of a deal. I don't know. I mean, Jeff can victory lap it all he wants. Last time I looked at the market, he's still the fucking favorite to be comeback player of the year.
Imagine he just like doesn't see the field the rest of the year and still wins just because the story's so great.
Well, he came back. He played a game.
Yeah, he watched multiple kickoffs go over his head for touchbacks.
But he came back.
He came back. He played.
I mean, the biggest threat to him right now is Rodgers.
12-1, as Jeff let us know earlier today.
But Rodgers is also now saying he's not coming back till like January.
Maybe December 28th.
Oh, I'm sorry. What happened to Thanksgiving?
Maybe he needs to take a little longer. Maybe it's a head fake. People think he's coming back at the end of December. But like Jalen Ramsey, comes back a month before anyone predicts.
Or what if it works the other way?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you can't win comeback player of the year if he doesn't come back.
I mean, that is true.
So what's it like with the Jets on bye week?
They're not on bye. They play on Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Not playing. Okay. If you don't play on Sunday, it feels like you're
It
not
feels
playing.
weird. And I won't get them next week either because they play Sunday night.
Yeah, but you'll have the anticipation of the show. I suppose we should announce. Rob, you had a chance to plug what you're doing and why you have to leave early tonight. So you should go ahead and plug that if people want to tune into something after the show.
Listen, we're competing for the exact same audience, I guess, in some case or another. But I do have a YouTube channel called Forward Progress. It's an NFL betting channel. And basically at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'm on with a co-host and we're going to recap the day. But also we look at the spreads as they come out in real time. And we basically just give our opinions on which way we think those numbers are going to move going forwards. But don't have to watch it. This is the worst plug of all time. But if you're invested in Pat and Tim's stuff, stick around here. In the future, though, just check out Forward Progress. Maybe not at the same time, but just check it out.
I would highly recommend checking it out. I like to go check it out. You had a trivia contest between Cam and Jeff. A lot of similar faces between the two channels.
There was a trivia contest between Cam and Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And tomorrow night, we're going head-to-head with you, Rob. I hate to tell you, but we're going to beat your numbers.
I would, if I was a betting man, which I am, I would probably say Mayo draws more views at minus 5,000 is a good bet.
Well, we don't do watch-alongs often, but we are doing a live watch-along for Monday Night Football. Should have remembered that when I said the Jets were on bye. No, Chargers at Jets. Live watch-along starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Mayo Media Network. I'll be there for a bit, but, Cust and Jeff will be there, and that's really what you want to see.
Kind of on by as it is.
That's your take on that game?
No. I mean, I feel good about the game. I feel like the Chargers, when they face defenses that can actually heat them up and can play tight coverage, as we've seen this season, the Chargers struggle against teams that play good defense. The Jets, for their myriad of offensive problems, play good defense. So,
All right.
Have you guys ever watched a Chargers game with Jeff before?
Once.
Just out of curiosity?
Once, and he left without paying his bill.
It gets real uncomfortable when the Chargers are not doing well, which is kind of what I'm hoping for tomorrow. I want maximum discomfort for Jeff.
So mad. And you hear him counting for the flags when it comes every single time. 1, 2. Just very intense look, counting on his fingers as it goes down. It's great. Until it becomes way too uncomfortable.
It's a huge game for both teams in the AFC. It's a huge game statistically.
Could say it's the biggest game of the year.
I don't know if that's true, but it's amongst them.
You were telling me, hinge game.
Well, the PFF said the Jets make the playoffs 65% of the time with a W and 30-some-odd% of the time with a loss. So that 30% of percentage points is a pretty decent, leverage. So pretty important.
Reminder to everyone to smash the like to the channel. If you want to comment in the live chat, you need to be subscribed to Mayo Media Network. If you're one of these people in the chat who is asking who's not going to score the first touchdown, that's a question that I ask. Yeah. If you ask it, you will fucking be banned for life. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Just quit clogging up the chat. It's going to happen.
You
know what? Maybe we won't even do it. Too many people asked. I blame Fire Sports. Never go to that asshole's channel. You're banned for life.
Goodbye.
Fuck you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Can I start with my moment of the day?
Let's go.
My moment of the day is definitely the touchdown pass that Deshaun Watson threw, which hit the helmet of the Cardinal and was caught. If it hadn't been deflected, there wasn't a Browns receiver within 15 yards of the ball. I don't know what was going to happen to that pass.
He called bank.
Had it not caromed off of a Cardinals helmet.
Yeah.
It's I don't understand how that team can go from, Watson may not play this week, to, maybe Watson won't play again this season, to, yeah, sure, he's going to play. There's something rotten in the state of Denmark. I don't know what's going on there.
Denmark? Rotten in Denmark. What did the Danes have anything to do with it?
That's a Hamlet.
It's a quote from Hamlet.
Oh, I'm not a Shakespearean guy. Carry on, Tim. Apologies for interrupting.
Rob knows math. He can't read, but he knows math.
No, my point is made.
Literature,
I don't know
not my thing.
I don't know what's going on there. It's very perplexing.
It's sort of like the Stafford
And they
thing.
play the Ravens next week, and I don't think it matters who they play at quarterback. They're probably going to get eaten alive.
See, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Baltimore doesn't just beat teams that are good. Baltimore crushes teams that are good.
Yeah, but they only crush NFC teams.
And they only crush teams that play zone coverage a lot, like Detroit and Seattle. And then they play man, and Lamar stinks. The big issue, though, is Jedrick Wills, the left tackle for the Browns, got carted off today.
Yes,
and he had an air cast on. He's toast. So they're out their left tackle and right tackle with questionable quarterback play.
I mean, I've been saying for weeks that I think Lamar is the MVP of the league. I think he did nothing but benefit to himself today. And if he plays well against the Browns next week, if he's not already the betting favorite come tomorrow morning, he ought to be.
Because no passing touchdown Lamar? The stats matter in these awards.
They do, but like given that Mahomes once again played poorly and Tua threw the game away, those are the top two contenders for the award. Hurts played very well today, but Hurts is not going to make it through 17 games. He's going to miss at least one game this season.
Is that game still going on?
It is. He's going to miss some time. You can see we're halfway through the year and he's very laboring.
How about this? I mean, Rob, you're on the show wearing that. What about Joe Burrow as MVP?
Yep. I don't mind that at all. I bet 2 players 2 weeks ago. One was Joe Burrow. The other was Jared Goff. Goff probably won't win, but he was 80-1. And look at who the Lions are basically playing for the remainder of the year. The chance he could put up the counting stats, so to speak, I think are pretty high.
That would be like the Matt Ryan MVP season.
Yeah.
That would be the case.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yep.
And it would make sense, too, because they're all, in some way, narrative-driven awards.
Sure.
So everyone kind of here's the new hot team, the Lions coming into the year. If they do finish 13-4 or something like that, it's like, Goff's the man. And people feel bad for him because he was basically given away by the Rams. That team won the Super Bowl without him getting Matthew Stafford. It turns out the Lions are actually in a pretty good spot. Most valuable player right now, Lamar is 4th.
Who's
in the
favored
odds. There's
right
a big 4, and then there's everyone.
Favored.
Even after today's
Mahomes
quote-unquote
is still
performance?
Here's the thing. Like, for as bad as Mahomes is playing, his stats are still really nice, and they're 7-2.
Yeah, but he's won 2 MVPs, so I think to get a third MVP, he has to have a pretty spectacular statistical season.
He's plus 250. Hurts is plus 425, although that probably, if they hold on to this game, that probably affects the market a little bit. 2 is plus 450. Lamar's plus 475. Then it's Josh Allen at 13-1. Then McCaffrey, who has no chance of winning. Then Joe Burrow at 20-1. Lawrence is also 20-1, but I just feel like if Jacksonville is going to be good, it's not that it won't be because of Lawrence. I just don't see him having the numbers to help his cause there.
Me either.
Because if Jacksonville is going to be good, it needs to be a total team effort.
It does. And they are good. They're 6-2. Like, they're obviously a very quality football team. But, yeah, they aren't scoring 35 points a game, and Lawrence isn't blowing teams away.
It's the defense that's been winning Jacksonville games this year. Their defense has been surprisingly very, very good.
Yeah, they held that Chiefs team to, 17 points in week 2? Like, they played very good. I'll be excited to see next week Jacksonville plays the 49ers. It's in Jacksonville. My gut would lean right now a little bit towards Jacksonville, even though I think the Niners are the better team. It's a tough spot. Very good game. Very intriguing game.
True. Debo will be back for the 49ers, too, though. And Purdy's, fallen off a cliff since Debo hasn't been playing.
According to
not that Debo does a ton either.
According to your NFC-AFC theory, though.
That is true,
Jacksonville
which really
comfortably.
paid dividends today.
Good AFC teams beat good or mediocre NFC teams.
And bad AFC teams beat the other, beat the crap. Like the Vegas beat
Raiders.
the crap out of the Giants. The Colts beat the crap out of the Cardinals. The Texans came back and beat the Bucks in that game. Cleveland stomped a mud hole in Arizona today.
Indeed.
And even Baltimore and Seattle. Seattle's supposed to be a good team.
I think Seattle is a good team, but Baltimore.
I think Seattle's an NFC good team.
Yeah, okay, but that's where they play. Yeah. That's fine. But you only control the teams you play.
I don't really have a moment of the day. Rob, does anything stick out to you? There was the 2-point conversion that the Giants ran that was a double reverse to Bellinger that tried to pass back to Tony DeVito and just didn't work. It was just like, what is this?
Yeah, that was awful. There's been a few today. Listen, this is very personal and selfish for me, but the moment of the day for me was I bet Jaron Hall first TD of the game at 28-1, and I watch this guy get knocked out at the 1-yard line. I hope he's okay. He's dealing with a concussion, but that was the moment for me where I sat on the couch for half an hour, what could have been. There was one with Sam Howell too, that where he rolled out and he threw an interception in the end zone, he was trying to throw the ball away, but threw it directly at a Patriots
that was at
defender.
The end of the first half. Oh, it was a terrible pick. Oh, that was awful.
I mean, those were the ones that stood out because those are games that I bet on, so I was very in tune with those. But ultimately, one more, New Orleans had a +5 turnover margin today. It's not a moment of the day. They couldn't cover us. Derek Carr never covers big spreads, ever. They had a +5 turnover margin and still couldn't cover a spread. That, to me, a betting moment of the day right there.
I'm trying to think what another good betting moment of the day would be. Oh, I know what it was. We're having Justin Watson first touchdown. That Frankfurt game took so much of my money. Oh. And I bet on the Chiefs. I won money on the Chiefs and just lost every other wager I placed on the game. First play of the game. I had Valdez Scantling under. What does he have? 1 catch for 20 yards.
mean, Jeff lost his super lock because the Texans had a running back as a kicker and took a knee on the extra point.
Yes, that is the betting moment of the day right there. The kneel on the 2-point conversion so that they win by 2 and it can't get returned for 2 points.
Oh,
Do you think that Dare got the game ball?
he should have.
Or Strouder threw 5 touchdowns?
They could have both gotten game balls. I mean, you ask a running back to come up through. He made a decisive kick in that game.
You did?
And then because the Buccaneers are morons, they took that personal foul penalty to allow Houston to be able to kick the ball through the end zone for a touchback.
Do the Eagles have the ball back?
Yes, Dallas failed on 4th down.
So they're going to win.
I don't know what the timeout situation is.
A first down and they will win.
Okay.
But yeah, Dallas still has 2 timeouts.
If you're the Eagles here, and it's 1st and 10, and you need a first down to end the game, why don't you just run the tush push 4 times?
It's a good question.
Honestly.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
You always keep the clock
It's because
running.
Hurts is hurt. Yeah.
Yes, I mean-
I would agree.
Hurts is hurt in part because they run that play so often.
I don't know. That's not where he got hurt, though.
No, but it's a cumulative.
That's you saying that. You have no evidence that's the case.
I'm of the opinion that if you keep smashing your quarterback and your really good center over and over and over and over again in an incredibly violent play, that another Shakespearean reference from these violent delights will have violent ends. It's going to end poorly at some point.
I mean, everything's always positive. Like, if there was any pushback on this play, I could see it, but it's always forward momentum for them. Like, if anything, he's going to hurt his neck.
It's just
I feel like his upper body takes more of a beating than his lower body because he's trying to get really low to the ground when he does this. It feels like shoulders, neck, like Pat said, a lot of compression.
But you saw at the end of the game today, the Chiefs would not run that play. They will not put Mahomes in that situation.
They won't. Yeah, but they don't run that play ever, and they're still terrified of when he got hurt on that sneak like 2.5 years ago.
They should be.
They shouldn't be. People, like, how often do players get hurt? Like, he's fine running the ball 4 or 5 times a game, but he can't QB sneak it?
It's in the open field, and he can avoid a tackle. He can slide. He can go out of bounds.
I don't know. Tom Brady's able to run that play for...
What happened...
I think DeAndre Swift just knocked himself out cold.
Oh, so it's
on this play and fumbled the ball. I literally believe that he didn't expect to take the handoff from Jalen Hurts and knocked himself
Did Dallas
out cold.
recover it?
No, Philadelphia did.
Oh, good fumble luck for Philadelphia today on DeAndre Swift fumbles.
I don't know who it was. Honestly, it was the weirdest play.
Let's see. Here it is. Oh. He if he got any lower, it would have been a butt fumble.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, the motion man just wrecked him, like basically completely destroyed him.
Oh, maybe he doesn't like him. He knew that was his one chance just to get a free shot at him. What was the name of that trivia thing that you guys were playing? I had it saved, and I completely forgot what it was, Rob.
Draft party.
So how do I do this? I want to play a game between you guys here.
Okay. So draftparty.net.
Yeah, I'm on it.
You'll want to go down to the sports section. But we'll need a screen, Pat. That's the only issue. We'll need a screen.
We don't have a screen. Okay, I'll set this up better for next time. I want to play a trivia game between you guys. But instead, we're going to have to program the A block. So the 4 biggest stories on, let's call it, the morning national radio tomorrow. Or PTI. What are they leading with? Is it this game, or do you think it's Joshua Dobbs?
I think they lead with Stroud.
Stroud
over Dobbs?
I
really?
think you lead with Stroud. That's the big story. He's the super rookie. Is he the real deal? Is he amazing? Is he, the next name your star quarterback? I think that to me, that's where the juice is. That's what I lead off with.
So that's interesting because you've produced. Did you produce TV, Rob, or just radio?
I produced radio only.
So you produced radio only. So you would have had to do this sort of thing before. It's come up like, hey, Cam and Gabe, here are the stories. And they're like, oh, fuck off, Pizzola. And
yes.
We'll talk about who ruined my weekend kind of thing. And Cam's talking about butter on his mouth. Old people can't eat popcorn and stuff like this. I love hardcore sports radio. It was the best.
The only radio in the history of radio where the host read their script for the first time on air. Sometimes allowed on air. Oh, Pizzola, we're having Drew Bledsoe on today? It's like, yeah, we are.
Trump would do that with his speeches. Trump would give a speech, and it would stop halfway through and go, oh, that was a good line. Like, clearly had never read it before.
Oh, this guy said, did I miss who's not scoring the first TD? Does that count as a bannable offense?
Yes.
Banned for life!
5-minute timeout.
The 5-minute timeout.
Oh, so lenient.
All right, I'll ban him for life. Fuck this guy. Ban him for life. Never come back. Go fuck yourself. See you never. I think it's a Dobbs story. I think it's more.
It's in the A block.
I think it is unless Dallas comes back and wins this game right now, then Dallas this game is somewhere on the list because it's such a big game.
Totally.
But if Dallas comes back and wins it, then I think it's a bigger story than if Philadelphia covers the spread and wins it and looks pretty good. You know,
I would
about
agree
a few
with
calls in the game. Either way, the Dobbs story is like a real human story.
It is.
You have Kirk Cousins. This team, they started off the year so terrible. They rallied back with Kirk Cousins. He blows out his Achilles. So they have to bring in Jaron Hall to play this game. What do we know about Jaron Hall? They trade for Josh Dobbs halfway through the week. People were wearing Kirk Cousins shirts before the game.
That's a great story.
What happens to Jaron Hall? Well, he gets his bell rung right in the kisser. And then he's out for the entire game. Dobbs, who hasn't taken a snap with any of the offense throughout the course of the week, got there 3 days ago, comes in against
looks terrible to start. Takes a safety, fumbles away a touchdown, looks brutal right away. Yeah. And then flips the script and starts moving through the gears and it's the most impressive pinch star performance since that Zamboni player humiliated the Maple Leafs when he played goaltender.
Please stop.
That's essentially what happened today. It's an impossibility, yet it happened in front of us.
But did anyone not realize this guy was going to roll out to the right on every single play? Like, it was why I was watching the exact same play over and over, and the Falcons couldn't figure this out. I don't know. The only thing, it's a compelling story, Pat, but the Stroud thing is also compounded by the fact that Bryce Young sucks.
Yes.
So it's like a double whammy. You get two stories for the price of one.
I agree. Those are one and two.
So you think those are 1 and 2, and then again we'll see what happens here. Did the Cowboys get the ball, or did the Eagles keep it here?
The Cowboys have the ball.
Okay, so the Cowboys have a chance to win this game.
I don't know. You could talk about the Frankfurt game.
Yeah, I think that's the other one.
Yeah. What's wrong with Miami?
It's not what's wrong with
Why can't Miami beat anybody good?
Is Miami fraudulent?
Yeah.
Because it's funny, even watching the game and watching the little in-between period from, I think I had it on Fox because the next game was going to come on, and so I'm just listening to these wackos talk about stuff, but, every talking head on TV seems to think that the Chiefs suck.
It's because they're not impressing people the way they were.
But they keep winning, and
they
have the best player in the league.
They do.
That's helpful.
That sure is.
And they finally have a defense. This could be the best version of the Chiefs in forever because they actually have a defense for a change.
I wouldn't pick against them. I wouldn't pick against them.
You picked against
They closed
dogs.
as underdogs. They were underdogs today, guys. They closed as underdogs.
Really? There's enough
Dolphins.
steam that came in on Miami?
There was.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, you got very lucky when you declared the game over, and then Miami started going on a run.
Yeah, but I mean, I deep down, I knew that Tua would come through for us, and he did in spectacular fashion. Dallas and Miami share a lot of similar qualities, particularly if Dallas should come to grief in this game. They beat teams that aren't good, and when they come up against real tests, they don't seem to have enough to get over the line.
They looked pretty good today. Pretty good. It's not like the game against San Francisco.
No, they're not getting routed.
They have the ball at the 11-yard line.
I just saw that,
27 seconds left.
I wonder if CeeDee Lamb catches a touchdown, if Justin will win the Millie. My partner at Run the Sims, Justin, had CeeDee Lamb versus the guy in first place, but he was way, way, way back. I don't know if CeeDee's done enough to get him all the way up to the top or not. That'd be great. Win $1 million.
This is a game that no one will talk about, but I just want to take another moment to smile about how awful the Patriots are, and that anybody who sat out there and laid points with Mac Jones against a team that's middle of the pack in the NFC, shame on you. You got what you deserved. What's wrong with you?
Slap in the face. You might as well just slap Cam Stewart right across the face.
No, Cam was always, but Cam's contrarian. This is different. Cam was always trying to play a contrarian. I'm talking about the public who are like, oh, the Patriots are favored. They never. They must be. Vegas must know they're going to win.
These people who think like that, it's honestly.
That's why there's lights in Vegas, because there's lots of them. Lots of them. That's how bad the Patriots are. That your NFC AFC theory completely comes to grief with that, because even they can't beat an NFC team.
I think they were the only AFC team to lose to an NFC team this week.
I think that's right.
Yeah, looking at it. I mean, there's a lot of there was a lot of intra-conference matchups. They are. I mean, the more you bury them, and the more they keep losing, the higher pick they're getting.
Don't care. I wish that at the end of the game, Washington could have called timeout to make New England punt again or something.
Good thing they signed Belichick to that extension as well.
Yeah.
Very, very forward, progressive thinking. Bill Belichick.
Very smart. That's a really well-run team, and it has been for years there. That's a really well-run team.
Is that a penalty on Dallas?
Oh my God. I'm way ahead of you guys. Dak just took a huge sack.
Wow.
Huge sack. So they're back down to the 23-yard line or so.
How much time?
The clock's ticking. 10 seconds. They're running the last play here. He's going to go to the end zone. And he threw it out. Well, 5 seconds left.
All right, so we got a 5-second play.
5-second play.
So
5-second play.
Are there any other contenders for stories that might be in the A block here? Like, I mean, we kind of like you said that Lamar should be the favorite to be MVP. The Ravens they're not fun to watch.
No, but I mean, the advanced numbers have the Ravens as like so much better than everybody else.
Well, their defense is so good.
Well, they are. They really are.
I think that the Giants Raiders game will get way more coverage than it deserves because you had the Antonio Pierce.
You're right.
His old team,
and Daniel Jones
tore his ACL as well.
That's
so it's going to get a lot of coverage, but nobody cares really. Let's be honest. But it'll be there.
They won one for Josh McDaniels to shove it in his face. Did you hear?
Exactly.
Did you hear Glazer's report this morning about the Raiders?
There was something about Pierce and McDaniels getting into it on the sideline or something like that.
They had a players only meeting, and McDaniels got Pierce to speak for him, and then he said something about like the Patriots.
They needed to take on the identity of like the 07 Giants, who didn't matter who they were playing. They thought they could win that game. And don't you ever talk about the Patriots like that. You're not a member of the Patriots anymore. Like, you're going to carry water for those guys in a year that they cheated. Get out of here.
You know what, guys? Over time, it's becoming more and more clear that Tom Brady carried the Patriots organization for almost a couple decades, and these coaches didn't have a friggin' clue what was going on.
Yeah,
not a clue.
I'm willing to give Belichick the significant benefit of I see the reaction from Rob that suggests that
they threw short of the goal. They threw to the 2-yard line. CeeDee Lamb caught it at the 2-yard line and got tackled. Yeah.
Belichick was the decisive figure in maybe 2 of the first 3 Super Bowls. I give him that. But like after 2005, like that's kind of it in terms of like who's really driving the bus and who's the passenger.
Tough scene for Belichick.
No, not really. He gets to have his hundreds of millions of dollars and,
his young girlfriend.
And his mansion on Martha's Vineyard or whatever and his boat. And you can have a great life.
This guy says that at least Mike Tomlin won without a Hall of Famer.
What are you talking about?
Ben Roethlisberger's going
to the Hall of Fame.
Ben Roethlisberger's a Hall of Famer. Antonio Holmes is a borderline Hall of Famer.
Antonio Brown is actually a Hall of Famer. He won't get in. But
he won't get in, but yes.
Troy Polamalu's a Hall of Famer. Or like James Harris. Like the people on this defense were...
cool down so he didn't burn himself.
I'm still not going to touch them for several minutes.
So we made pizza pops, which Cust claimed, Rob, were better than Panzerotti.
No, that is not what I said.
That's what you said.
You can go back to the tape. What I said is I never heard of a Panzerotti. I just didn't know what it was.
And then you said, well, how could they be better than pizza pops?
I said I really like pizza pop. Panzerottis might be great. I have no opinion on them because I've never had them. But pizza pops I really like.
Rob,
that is what I said.
Can you explain the difference to people between a Panzerotti and the other flip pizza, calzone?
Typically speaking, one would be fried and one would be baked. Although they can be used interchangeably as well. But calzones and Panzerottis are very similar. Calzone though is typically baked, whereas a Panzerotti is typically fried and a little bit larger in size as well. It's more like a crescent, half moon type of shape usually, but very large. Both can be filled and stuffed with whatever you want, typically cheese, some sort of cured meat, pepperoni, salami, whatever, anything really, anything goes. You just don't disrespect Italians and put pineapple in the Panzerottis. That's just the one rule.
I love pineapple on pizza.
Why do Italians hate pineapple so much? Do they have an anti-Hawaiian bias?
There's a couple things in Italian culture that they hate on pizza. One is pineapple and one is chicken. I don't know why. I honestly do not know the origins of this. I also do like pineapple on pizza. And I've had chicken pizzas as well, which I think are totally a fine topping. I don't get it personally. I just don't do that stuff around my parents. I don't want to be, I don't want them to think lesser of me as their oldest child.
So, Rob, our teaser from the Best Bet show this week comes down. Oh, Carolina did not cover the teaser point, so the teaser lost. But we went 8-1 in the Best Bet, so that's good. And the only game, and you guys had Washington against New England as the crossover pick. So Cam's New England gold pick was the only incorrect pick.
But
I'm going to get him so fired up next week.
You guys weren't confident at all on the show with your pick. So
that's what we need to do.
So
8-1.
Cam took the Patriots, and that was a bad pick. But he also wasn't wedded to it. He's like, whatever. I guess I'll go this way. So not the same thing as people come in with a gospel truth opinion about a pick, right?
True, but he doesn't know what's going to hit him this week on the Best Bet Show.
What's going to
when
hit
he
him?
finds out that it was the only loser of the
no.
and I go in on him for that as well. Especially if he comes in a bad mood, which is about a 90% chance as well. It's going to be over in the first 10 minutes.
Did he beat Jeff, or did Jeff beat him in the trivia contest?
I think Jeff won.
Jeff actually wiped the floor with him.
Really?
Jeff actually put in a very impressive performance.
Really?
Yes.
What kind of sports was it? Is it
it's purely NFL. We're doing an NFL bracket.
Okay.
The way that this works, so I've talked to the guys who created this site, and the premise behind it was if you just go to a regular trivia and they ask you questions and you don't know, then it just kind of sucks. You're sitting around doing nothing. You don't know the answer. So basically they ask questions like which quarterbacks had the most interceptions over the course of their career, and they give you 25 quarterbacks, not the top 25, just 25 quarterbacks throughout history. And you're picking which ones from that bunch you think had the most interceptions in that career. So
that's cool.
It's pretty interesting type of trivia. Yeah.
That's really cool. We steal Rob's ideas and just get tons of content.
No, but that is a great idea.
You guys should do it. It's honestly really fun. And it levels the playing field when you have things you can pick from, right? And you don't have to just have the answer in your head. So
you
it
do
makes
a bracket. It'd have to be
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but if you did one, it would, or Celebrity or Jeopardy Tournament Champions. I feel like you should just put me into the finals.
Oh, really? Well, do you think
I would be a 1 or 2? My ridiculous knowledge of sports lore is as you know, it's very extensive.
Okay. So it's like when you
Wow.
and I, it is.
Tim
and I used to play Jeopardy against each other every single night. And Tim would answer, I'd say, 4 times as many questions as me, yet we would have the exact same amount of wins and losses.
Yeah, that's true.
Bad at double Jeopardy.
I was bad at the betting and double.
Bad at betting.
I was just
what
good at,
you should bet on.
I was good at answering the questions. I have a weird and useless encyclopedic knowledge of stupid stuff.
Opera.
Well, that too. But when it comes to sports stuff, I can tell you, the Chargers and Steelers played a Monday Night Football game in October of 2005, and it was 24-22 for the Steelers. I can just tell you that for a fact. There's no reason for me to know that. I just know that nonsense.
Well, I mean, I'm on a Sporkle quiz right now. We can play it. It's called NFL Teams.
Okay.
Do you know the NFL teams?
Oh, my goodness. I used to like Sporkle.
Me too. I haven't been on
did I.
Sporkle in ages. It just reminded me of at the beginning of Stump the Schwab, they used to have kind of similar to what Rob is talking about, where
Yes.
it'd be who are the top 20 goal scorers in NHL history, and you got to pick until you got one or you got 2 wrong. Or something like that.
That's right.
I like that idea.
You had to give the answer. You weren't. They weren't shown on screen. You had to give them, and then as soon as you got one wrong, you were cut out. Right. That's the way it worked on Stump the Schwab. This one,
Man,
you
Matt
see
Sundin,
the answers in front of you.
You lose.
Yeah.
I like when you brought up the Josh McDaniels thing, don't talk that way about the Patriots. You just did it in the voice of our Patriots friend fan who would exactly say that thing. Maybe don't talk about Patriots like that.
You're being paid as an employee of a franchise that is competing to beat that team, who you already beat actually this year. How can you talk like that? What's wrong with you? You got if you heard your head football coach talking like that, it's a dismissible offense.
Jeffrey in the chat says,
Is it Jeffrey Feinberg?
No,
17?
it's not Jeffrey Feinberg. He did. Maybe he signed into his burner, so we don't know it's him. And he just spelled Jeffrey with a J instead of a G, and then we would know. But he says, I'd rather see Tim on Survivor than listen to him rattle off Monday Night Football games from 20 years ago. You should go on Survivor.
I could do it.
Do you think
There's a lot of Canadians on these days now. I still watch Survivor. I've watched every season of Survivor.
It's not as
and I
physically
still watch it.
grueling as most.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's not Alone. It's not. Those Naked and Afraid. It's not like a show like that anymore.
They've really made it a little bit more difficult on the food side of things in recent seasons.
Okay.
The people are actually starving. There's it's way harder to get food, which I don't know why they did that generally. I guess they wanted to go back to the roots a little bit, but it's actually an amazing strategy game. If you're into strategy and game theory, Survivor's incredible. And that's why I think, Tim, you'd be in trouble. One of the first voted out, if I had to guess.
Oh, I think I'd lay very low to start with.
Can you lay low?
Yes.
I don't think you can.
You would be there like Richard Hatch, fucking dongs out day one.
I mean, he won
It's true. But
Here,
that's,
to be fair,
that
he did
strategy
win.
can only work once.
Imagine pulling your dong out in 2023 on the show and how quickly they wouldn't even vote you out. They would just send you home immediately.
They would just have a giant hook. At least you would get to go to like the fun part of the island where they have all the food
Yeah.
for all the people that work there.
The green room, yeah.
Well, don't they do everything on the same island now too? Like over and over, Rob? Like didn't they?
It's all in Fiji, over and over in Fiji. They
Okay.
film like 4 seasons a year in Fiji, basically. Yeah.
Someone let me in of why there is an NCIS Sydney.
Why?
The actor strike.
Okay.
There's no actor strike in Australia.
So that makes sense. But why would there be an NCIS in Sydney is what makes no
Listen,
sense.
there's
It's a foreign country.
Yeah, but they probably have U.S. bases there.
It's such a ludicrous concept. For
You haven't even seen it.
I know. I said as much, but it's still this is really good, by the way, this pizza.
Also, have you apologized to Loco Lottery for getting canceled?
I have them on my DVR, and I feel like there's no point in watching them now because the show's been canceled.
Also, you may have earned Josh Dobbs $10 million after what you said about him on the show this week.
I mean, I stand by what I said in principle, which is that there's like 12 good quarterbacks in the NFL, and everybody else is awful. To your point was, why don't teams invest in really good backups? Because they aren't there. There's none to be had. But look, I'm super excited that Josh Dobbs had a remarkable game. That's awesome for him. Good on him. I mean, he's an older fella. To have this type of game in this moment, that's awesome. But in principle, I'm 100% right that the league is bereft of actual talent at the quarterback position.
how old do you think Josh Dobbs is?
29, 30?
He's 28. You just called him an older fella.
Well, he is for someone who
Old man Josh Dobbs out here.
that is older. Like, he's not a young quarterback
Well,
who's
he
on the up and coming list. He's a journeyman. He's an older journeyman.
Tom Brady just played at 46 years old or something. Well, he got another 14 years in him. Josh Dobbs kicking around football. How long did Chase Daniel play for?
Oh, God.
He didn't play much.
Backup
Josh
forever.
Dobbs is not playing much.
He's going to play the rest of the season.
There you go. Now we can just play the rest of the season, be a career backup.
Hey, look, good luck to him.
Jacoby Brissett's still kicking.
The Vikings have a lot of offensive talent if they could find a way to use those weapons. The NFC is so awful.
Weird enough to look at some of the advanced numbers. Minnesota's defense, Rob, actually pretty good this year.
Yep. Big change of defensive coordinator, Brian Flores. People think Brian Flores just like, it's a bunch of cover zero. He blitzes like crazy. He does blitz like crazy, but he does it in a very smart, intelligent way, whereas teams haven't given up big plays. It's pretty much the same personnel. Like they haven't changed. Remember last year, it was like holes all over the field. This year, completely different. So I think there's some coordinators in the league that are just cut out to be coordinators. And I think that's Brian Flores. Very, very good defensive mind. So I still, listen, congratulations to Dobbs. Great performance today. I still don't know why Minnesota went out and got it was only a 6th round pick, but they're not winning the Super Bowl with Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, but
they're probably not even winning a playoff.
But
Thank you.
it's
This
not.
was my argument.
But teams don't think like this, especially the Vikings, Rob. They want to make the playoffs, and they can make the playoffs, despite Tim saying they have zero chance of making it.
Well, it sets them back. Like
They
can make the playoffs.
They don't care. They want to make the playoffs. They don't.
But they should care.
But they don't. But they don't care.
Obviously, they don't because they made this trade. Although they traded away their Ezra Cleveland on their offensive line, so what sense does this make? I don't really understand.
Maybe
that.
they didn't like him. Had to get him out of town.
He was a pretty good, damn good player. He was doing a good job, but maybe he was a cancer in the locker room or something. I have no clue. I just don't get it. This is like, you just don't want to be in a middling position, and that's what the Vikings have set themselves up for, to be in a middling position.
I think Vikings ownership sees making the playoffs as not a middling position, despite the fact that you're right. They're probably not going to win the NFC with Josh Dobbs as their quarterback. They probably were going to win it with Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. But this is where they're at, and maybe they want to please the fans. Maybe it's about making money for them and selling some jerseys and getting people.
They're going to play a road playoff game. It's not going to be at home.
Yeah, but they don't want people just not showing up to games towards the end of the year.
I don't think there's any risk of that.
If they were like actively tanking, people wouldn't show up.
I don't know. The Vikings are a pretty hot
sold the tickets already. He sold most of the tickets already.
Oh, they have not sold most of the tickets already. It's a big stadium.
I'm with Rob on this.
I know that you're with Rob on this, and it's not the point of what they should do, but after they did it, you claimed they had zero chance of making the playoffs.
I still don't think they have a very good chance to make the playoffs.
They have a pretty good chance of making the playoffs.
I still don't think Dobbs is that good, despite his fantastic performance today.
I mean, you just keep hating on Dobbs. He's going to
Thank
get
you.
it. They did
Rob.
win a hinge game for the NFC playoffs today against very fraudulent Atlanta. Atlanta
Well, they
sucks.
get very fraudulent New Orleans at home next week as well.
Perfect.
So maybe they got another win there on top of it. Who
Which
knows?
means, Atlanta will hopscotch over New Orleans next week because they'll win in the same.
Yeah, the Atlanta will play some like weird team and beat them. Although I guess Tampa lost, didn't they? So
They sure did.
They led for the first time since week 4 today in a game.
Atlanta gets Arizona next week, but it could be the Kyler Murray Arizona next week. We don't know.
That's been Tim and I were discussing about the sneaking suspicion we had about Kyler Murray that he was probably able to play 2 weeks ago, and then they saw Cleveland and Baltimore, and we're like, yeah, no, we're not going to do this.
No, thank you. But they just threw Clayton Tune to the Wolves.
Yeah.
Like, poor guy.
Yeah, like whatever.
The worst possible scenario.
Like they don't care about winning, but they also it doesn't do them any good. Like if Kyler comes back and he wins every single game, I think that they're actually pretty happy with that outcome.
Yeah, or even if he looks great and they win 3 or 4 games, like okay, now we know who we're going to go with at quarterback.
Or you can say, hey, there's a quarterback available to us in the draft, but we can actually trade Kyler for something.
Or if you wanted to trade Kyler, that contract's big though. I don't know that there'd be many.
oh, come on.
Yeah,
People just lined
tough,
up to
man.
pay
I think
Deshaun
that- I
Watson
think you'd be-
guaranteed money.
I think it'd be far easier to trade the pick than
Yeah, but
trade Kyler.
I don't know. There's teams out there that every team that didn't go out to get Lamar this offseason will be begging to get Kyler this offseason if he looks any good.
We'll see, I guess. I mean, he'd be great in Atlanta, wouldn't he?
So would Lamar have.
Yeah,
they didn't want to do can't pay for Lamar. Impossible.
Yeah.
Not looking great right now. So Rob, you got a bolt?
I got to bid you guys adieu.
Pimp the
Have a
show.
good night.
Pimp the show.
Forward Progress on YouTube.
Starting in
Check it
15
out.
minutes. 5 minutes.
Starts in 4 minutes.
4
yeah.
minutes. So
4 minutes.
after we guess the spreads, we'll be getting out of here. Who's not going to score the first touchdown tonight?
Kincaid.
Tyler Boyd.
Oh, Kincaid.
Okay. I was giving an actual to score the first touchdown, Tyler Boyd, but now that Kincaid, we have to drop some money on Kincaid. This is how it works, right?
See? Guy in the chat, St. Paul native, agreeing with me. It's like Ziggy doesn't want to tank. It's like they're just never going to do it.
Yep. Yeah.
No, particularly if
Fair
there's
enough.
if Allen doesn't play, yeah, Kincaid is not going to get anything today.
I haven't seen anything new about Allen yet, so I think that was just like he was probably just getting like a little bit more attention in the locker room before the game,
What are
taking his horse tranquilizers or whatever he takes.
What are Kincaid's odds? It's probably be a first touchdown odds. See,
Yeah.
I bet Justin Watson to score the first touchdown this morning.
I'll look it up in a minute.
The Sims, the Run the Sims simulator. Justin put out this thing. It's like it's going to take a while to realize, like if there's any sort of positive value on first touchdowns in these games. Here's what we've run the simulations on. It's going to take a while for you to realize any sort of like expected value on this. And it's like game 1, Rashee Rice 14-1 is the best play. Obviously, it is. Just like
So
yeah, great.
Kincaid at DraftKings is 15-1, which is actually the best price in market right now. So there you go.
DraftKingsSportsbook.com. Kincaid.
All right, guys.
All right, Rob Pizzola. Check him out on the Forward Progress channel on YouTube. You can hop over there and do the watch along after this game for Sunday Night Football. You can catch Rob on the Best Bet Show on Wednesday evening, Thursdays on the Pat Mayo Experience. Rate, review, and subscribe to that as well. It's time to guess the spreads.
All right.
Let's do this. Just me and you this week, pal. Mm-hmm. Change up the mo a little bit, although I won last week. So I don't know what the record is. What are we in week 9? These will be for the week 10 spreads. I'm guessing you're up like 5-3
Something like that.
because the guest has won a few times.
Once at least.
So Paul on the mic. Oh, there is a.
What's wrong?
No, I'm just trying to.
I am on the mic.
Okay, you are. Okay, good.
Yep. All right. So
I didn't write down the games this week. I usually write them down before we come in.
I think I've got all of them. It looks like there's a lot of games. Are there no buys? Doesn't look like there really. There's a lot.
Dolphins
of
and
games.
Chiefs are on bye.
I guess if I go to ESPN, I can see this.
So
can't
2
I?
teams on buy. Okay. Well, that makes sense. There's a lot of games.
Okay, 15 games. Let's go.
Thursday night football. We've got a real stinker. We've got the Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears.
Fields might be back. Although Bejon looked okay. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Bears by 3.
Ding, ding, ding.
It was 3 or 3.5.
I was going to guess 2.5.
Well,
Why would you
Badgett
think
is
that'd
the
be-
reincarnation of
Chicago
Michael
put up
Vick,
a good
so-
effort
I
today.
know they did, but I'm still going to go lower.
But Carolina's the worst team in the league. Is Carolina the worst team in the league? Is Bryce Young the worst quarterback in football?
Arizona is now that they don't have Dobbs.
Yeah, but Murray comes back next week.
Fair.
Probably.
That changes the
They
equation.
shouldn't bring him back.
I mean,
they should just play Clayton
I
Tune,
stand
run
by
him
my
into the ground,
position
and the place
that
last.
the Patriots are the worst team in the league.
I guess they have to bring him. As we talked about it before, they got to bring Kyler back
To
so
trade
that
him,
they
at
can try
least.
to trade him. So
Or
people are
figure
like,
out if he's good.
Yeah.
Like, you can't trade a guy who never plays.
It's true.
Or, I guess you could trade him, but you'd trade him for a lot less than if he was good. But probably a lot more than if he sucks.
that's right.
I doubt he sucks, though.
Somebody out there, there's not. We talk about it all the time. There's such a shortage of good quarterbacks in the league. It's like somebody would take a chance. I think.
You would have to. Like, if
Someone
you had,
would.
If you had no quarterback, let's say the Jets didn't trade for Rodgers in the offseason, they're just sitting there. Like, why wouldn't they trade for Kyler?
That's right. I agree with that.
All right, next game.
We've got the Colts at the Patriots.
Neutral site. Colts by 4.
Nope.
Colts by 3.5.
Nope. Colts by 2.
One for me. My price is right at you.
Yeah, the price of right
short number.
option in a two-way game is
Is a little
For
bit
a
easier.
touchdown.
Hey, it works both ways.
Yeah, it does. That's
It's
a
true.
short number.
It's not that. Like, the Colts aren't very good.
The Patriots are the worst team in the AFC by a lot. A lot. There is nobody over whom they would be favored
Well,
in any
is,
circumstance.
this is one of the teams that is also near the bottom with them. It's the Colts, who are like okay. The Colts, the Patriots, the Broncos, and Raiders.
The Raiders are 4 and 5.
Sure, but they're not good.
Anyway.
Do you think the Raiders are good?
No, I don't.
Next game.
got a couple pizza pops there.
I had 2. I'm good. If someone bet the over.
Somebody's got to eat them. I can't, and Pat won't.
2 is good for me. Thank you.
Well, you gonna throw them out?
I'm just not going to eat.
Just
more
being
than
very
2.
wasteful.
You got to
I
take
had
them
2.
home,
That's all I'm
bud.
having.
All right.
Sorry for all you people who bet the over in the chat.
Starving kids in Africa. Moving on down, we've got San Francisco at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
San Francisco at Jacksonville. San Francisco by 2.5.
Correct.
So that's what I was going to guess as well. Good pull.
5-0.
Good pull.
I like San Francisco. in that
Bye-bye.
game, by the way.
Yeah, I do too. You know, the Jaguar. Anyway,
But yeah, you keep saying that they're going to win.
I do.
Every single week, and they haven't won since.
I like them this week. They'll
Just
come
like in
up by.
poor Atlanta. You should really apologize to the 3 Atlanta Falcons fans
I'm
out
right
there.
back on the horse with Atlanta. I'm not going
Against Arizona next week?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
Okay.
We got the Saints at Dobbs and the Vikings, Tim.
The Saints have to be favored. Saints by 1.
Nope.
Saints by 1.5.
It's Saints by 2.5, so Pat gets the point.
There we go. Shutout on the shutout this
Maybe.
week?
Maybe.
All right, moving on down. On to the next one.
Yep.
All right, we got Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens, Pat.
Baltimore by 3.5.
Nope.
5.
Yep. Ding, 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 ding.
In this round, if you get it right as the last pick, you do get 2 points.
You should,
Because There's
yeah.
only 2 of us.
All right, we got
I like that you just went for it. Went to go get the correct answer.
he's got some ground to make up on.
Well, not so much now.
He's got
It's
some
only
pizza
6-2.
pops to eat too. We got the Houston Texans at the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bengals by 6.
Nope.
Bengals by 7.
Yep. Ding, 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 ding.
Didn't even Price is Right you there. Went just for it.
Yeah.
The full TD, and it's juiced to minus 120. So,
So it
I mean,
going
if
up.
they beat the Bills tonight, that's going to 7.5.
Yeah, but if they lose to the Bills in bad fashion, then it drops to 6.5 after Stroud
Maybe,
threw
yeah.
5 touchdowns.
It's true. All right, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh my God. This game is unwatchable, by the way. It's me first.
Yeah.
Steelers by. I don't know if it was like the game plan that the Packers ran today against the Rams. Or like the Rams are literally not
had
going to
nothing.
do anything.
Yeah, they had
so we're
nothing.
just going to run the ball up the middle. And even though they fumbled a bunch of times, and that'll be good enough. And it was. But like, I don't know if Jordan Love can do anything.
No.
The Steelers also suck. Steelers by 4.5.
Nope.
Yeah, it's too big. So I'll say 4.
It's Steelers by 3.
Yeah, it was too short. It's too long.
Like, how can you not bet the Steelers in that game?
It's a lot of points.
Green Bay won today.
Green Bay was awful today.
No,
I
didn't
like that as a
I didn't
fine
watch
break,
any of the
actually.
game.
You like that as it like Really?
The Packers cover.
How are the Packers going to cover? What's
it's
the
gonna be
score
like
going to be? 7-6?
No, it's going to be like a 16-13 type of game.
I don't know if the Packers can score 13 points with the defense is trying to stop
Steelers
them.
can turn it over, though.
What?
Steelers can turn it over.
I suppose that's true.
Okay, me first.
Moving on down, we got the Tennessee Titans at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Your guy, Levis.
Titans by 1.
Nope.
Tampa by 1.
Pat wins. It's Tampa by 1.5.
I like
weird.
the Titans. I like the AFC against the NFC in that
too.
matchup.
I like
That's a
the
weird
Titans
one.
there.
Levis is just going to throw bombs.
Yeah.
Fucking Moonraker over there, throwing it out of the frame of the camera.
You ready for the next one?
Oh, yeah.
We got the Falcons at the Cardinals.
Atlanta by... And there is a line on this game?
There is a line on this game.
Do you think it's the Kyler Murray line or do you think it's the Toon line?
Tune.
I don't know.
Falcons at Cardinals.
I'm going to say Falcons by 5.
Nope.
5.5.
It's Falcons by 2.5.
So it's a Kyler Murray line.
It's a Kyler line, probably.
10-3.
This is my time to shine, though.
Yeah, this is your comeback period.
Detroit at the Chargers.
Now, people are saying that Dalton Kincaid's first touchdown prop has now moved from 16 to 11. You're moving markets, Tim.
Detroit
who
at
picks
the
first?
Chargers.
Oh, and well, hold on one second. Someone in the chat says, because you corrected me on Moonraker last time, Moonraker was not the space station. It is the
weapon.
shuttle.
It's the weapon,
It is
right?
the shuttle.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're confidently incorrect.
I thought
Tim.
it was. Okay.
What was
Whose
the game,
pick
Paul?
is this?
Lions at Chargers.
And it's you.
Lions by a point.
Correct. Ding, 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 ding. Winner,
man.
Gagnon.
10-5.
Ooh, here's a 14-1 I found. We've got
I can't go into bed because I can't look at the lines.
the the Commanders at the Seahawks.
Seahawks by 6.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
That's going to be my guess.
I guess you just want me to keep rifling through this so you can bet first touchdown scorer, right?
I mean, I don't really have a ton to say on Seahawks and Washington. I kind of like the Seahawks.
See how much they'll let me put on this.
Damn. I was going to guess 6.
We'll apply. We'll apply for the full acceptance there. All right, we got the Giants at the Cowboys. Tim.
So, Daniel Jones, ACL.
Yeah.
Tyrod on IR.
Yeah.
So you're getting Shinebox at quarterback again.
Cowboys by 10.
Nope.
Cowboys, I'm going to say 10.5 to get the point, but I'm going to say Cowboys by, it's probably like 15.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I said 10.5, so I don't get the 2, but like that.
15.
They're putting in that guy who can't pass to play quarterback.
True.
And the Cowboys rake at home.
Jeff's in my DMs asking who the first touchdown scorer is. He should be
Ban him
banned
for life.
I should ban him for
Get that
life.
guy out of here.
He said that he's watching the show, but he's 20 minutes behind. He likes watching, the whole way through without scanning for it.
13-5.
All right, we got Tim's Jets at the Raiders. I mean, these are both your teams. You love both of these squads.
Pat goes first this time, doesn't he? No, I do. Jets by 2.
Try talking into the mic.
Nope.
Jets by 1.5.
Tim wins that one. It's Jets by 2.5
Okay.
on the road. And then
Jets?
Monday Night Football.
Got to cover some points on the road on a short week.
Monday Night Football, Denver at my Buffalo Bills.
That's Monday Night Football? Oof.
Times are tough, bud.
Bills by 7.
Nope.
7.5.
Yep. Ding, ding.
Final score 13-8. Now I can go bet that. Is Kincaid beat down to 11-1 everywhere?
The Polar Bears got 14.
Yeah, I don't
But
want
they
to.
may just move it because I just moved it.
I don't think I have any money
calculated.
on that site.
Fair.
So, who was New Orleans playing this week? Who were they? Was it Minnesota?
Yeah,
Yes.
they accepted the full. Nice.
Yeah. Hosting New Orleans.
They're
Minnesota.
hosting New Orleans. I know you're not betting, so what are you doing?
Just looking at the matchups for next week.
All right, got anything to say? I'm trying to go in here and bet. You can carry the show for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I look at there's some really marquee matchups next week that are fascinating to me. But in terms of games that I'm really interested in that aren't the marquee ones, like I think that Saints-Vikings one is actually really, really fascinating in terms of NFC playoff seeding, divisional stuff. And I think I would say the same for the Chargers and Lions. These are two huge must-have games for the Chargers, who are now looking at an AFC where a lot of teams are in bad shape. Are getting into strong shape with 3, 4, 5 wins, and the Chargers can't afford to fall by too many of these games. So the Chargers need to win this week and next week, I think, to keep in the hunt. So that Lions game will be fascinating. That'd be a good test of AFC, NFC. If the Chargers really take apart the Lions, as your theory suggests they will, that will be very interesting.
It would just be odd, because we've seen Philadelphia crossover. They lost to the Jets, but they beat the Dolphins. So when do they get the Bills?
I'm not sure.
It's got to be later on.
I wonder, is Los Angeles filled with expats from Detroit? We're going to load up the
I
stadium?
think you just say that they play road games every week.
Yeah.
But
you can play neutral site games, though.
Yeah, I actually think it makes them better on the road.
Oh, I think it does. It does sharpen them on the road.
Yeah. It is still 16-1 at a place that's open 365 days a year.
Yeah, but not for me.
Hey, but not for you. Hey, when you lose a G on when you win some bets and still lose a G on the early morning game, they'll let you make any bet that you want for any price that you want. You just got to be a giver back. You can't just win all the time, Paul. It's not how it works.
Exactly.
What did you end up winning on McDonald's this year?
With a day left in the contest, I won a lot of 10,000 point awards.
So was that like a free meal or was that like a free Coke?
No, basically a free meal, just short of one. I won a lot of those. I was set in every single property, as always, but didn't come through. And I don't know if they still have some draws to do on the double play, I think, but I haven't won any of those. So it's been basically like every year has been.
People are asking if you won diabetes or diabetes.
No, I don't think I played actually as much this year as I have in years past. I played enough. Don't get me wrong. I played and had some fun. But other than that first day or two, there were no other two-a-days. That was it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you really restrained yourself this year.
I would go once a day or once every other day.
You're not going to win doing that.
I had fun. I gave a good effort, but it wasn't to be. That's okay. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait till next year.
Paul, you had something to say?
Where do the pizza pops rank compared to kale chips? Because kale chips were obviously the best thing in the air fryer so far.
Yeah, kale chips and the pogos were the best things. Then the mozza sticks. Right after the mozza, probably fourth. Maybe fourth. The wings were a bad experience because they were dry and they had no sauce. So I didn't.
That's because we can't get you sauce.
I know.
I don't have any pansy sauce here for you to put on.
We didn't have rubber gloves for you to wear, so you didn't get your hands
Yeah, we didn't have a
dirty.
knife and fork. We didn't have extra mild sauce for you to put on.
They could have been a dry rub. You didn't have to make a sauce.
Oh, you wanted me to go make you dry rub fucking wings as I'm trying to produce a live show? Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, I would say they're
you can bring stuff to make in it too if you want to try it out.
Top 4, top 5. They're good. They were good in the air fryer. They were good and crispy.
It's only week 9, so it's kind of meh. Fourth or fifth out of 9.
Yeah, middle of the pack.
What has been the worst?
I think he's liked everything.
I've liked everything, so it's hard to say what was nothing was bad.
Additionally, Tim did tell me earlier today that he sometimes microwaves eggs because it takes a shorter amount of time than cooking eggs.
And fewer pans.
Yet still doesn't want to use an air fryer, which takes far less time.
I worked at Zeller's restaurant back in the day, and for the scrambled eggs, that was protocol. And it's just this is because they didn't want to dirty up all of their flat
What I'm
top.
thinking.
And it's just they would literally you had a plastic cup and you would shake it up in the plastic cup and then microwave it for a minute and a half. And then fluff it up a little bit and then another 10 seconds.
Eggs
or something.
legit take 3 minutes to make.
They're not
ridiculous.
better. They're not better than fried
Don't
eggs.
order scrambled at any restaurant. I've worked in a lot of restaurants. Never order scrambled eggs.
Well, I mean, the places that I go, they make the eggs in front of you, so.
Yeah, well, never go if you go to
then you can just get
a low grade, diner.
If you go to a
don't
low grade
order
diner,
scrambled.
Yeah, fair enough. Over hard's the way to go there.
Oh my God.
But, yeah. Remember the reason I would always do the microwave eggs is just one fewer pan to clean. It's just faster. It's easier. It's like 70% of the experience. So it's not as good. I'd be the first
You
to
would say
admit
that microwaving eggs is 70% as good as cooking eggs in a very
it.
normal
It's
way.
still eggs. It's still cheese. It's still milk. It's getting you there.
You put cheese in it in the microwave too?
Oh, yeah. Mix it up in the egg.
Oh my God.
Pop her in.
It's so easy. Like I make a lot of eggs these days.
I bet you do.
The chat has turned on you.
It's really easy to make like over easy. I know you like over hard, but it's like very easy to make that in a pan.
It is easy.
It takes
but
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
You gotta clean, and it's an next.
The pan. Like there's really no cleaning. Like you literally put the eggs on your plate and then you put it in the sink. You put a little bit of water and it's pretty much clean already.
This will go back to, we had a conversation a few weeks ago about like how much like saucepans cost and everything like that. How much is the frying pan that you bought? $5?
No, it's probably 15.
So you got like the world's shittiest frying pan.
No, it's fine. It does.
I mean, I use my frying pan at home. I cook things in it and just slide the egg out. There's nothing on it.
Well,
give it a rinse and wipe it off. Put it back.
Wash with hot soap and water.
You don't have to.
I do. I'm not going to put away unclean things.
I forgot you're Howard Hughes. But you can just take like a rag, just wipe it off. There's nothing on it.
It's got to be hot, soapy water to be washed and cleaned and sterilized.
Does it need to be sterilized?
I know I'm not putting back unclean pans.
You're going to put it on a fucking boiling hot burner the next time you use it.
If I put an unclean
You're not cooking chicken on it. It's a fucking egg. That slides right off.
Put an unclean pan back in my pantry, I would not be able to sleep knowing I had an unclean pan sitting in my pantry. I couldn't do it. That would drive me up the wall.
This egg talk has really been bad for your campaign.
It really has.
Like looking at the chat now.
I stand by what I've said.
What, that eggs are better in the microwave?
I never said that, and no one will quote me on that because I didn't say that.
What did you say?
I said eggs are 70% as good in the microwave.
Which is also not true.
They're obviously better in the pan, but it's easier and faster to just get it done.
It's not really
in the microwave.
faster.
It is faster.
Okay, so different people have different questions about this. Why would you microwave eggs yet you refuse to use an air fryer over an oven?
I don't own an air fryer.
You can buy one.
But I don't own one.
But you can buy one. You've had the longest test anyone has ever had for an air fryer as a sample. You can go buy one for you can buy the cheapest one for $100.
And you've liked everything.
Yeah, no, I have no complaints.
Also, Tim takes 20 minutes to scroll around on a trackpad, yet can't wait 2 minutes to cook his eggs.
No, if I'm trying to cook my eggs, like I've got this going and that going and that going and that going.
What else? Really, when you're in such a time crunch, when you have so much going on, that's when you microwave eggs?
Yeah, just get it done. Be done with it. Or if I just...
What if you're cooking bacon and eggs at the same time?
Well, the eggs...
Do you put them both in the microwave at the same time?
You don't microwave bacon, do you?
I don't. I bake it in the oven on a cookie sheet. Then you just take the tin foil and you just wrap it up.
Is that because you're afraid of the fat that comes out to burn you?
I'm a little nervous. And it's also like when I'm done, all the grease is in the aluminum foil. So you just crumple it up and you toss it in the trash. And you get crispier bacon.
Did no one teach you how to clean things?
I clean them.
Why are you in such a rush to go do?
I just don't want to spend any additional unnecessary time.
I mean, it's necessary time. You're improving the quality of the thing that you're eating.
Baked bacon is fantastic.
It's okay. It's not as good as fried bacon.
I think it's just as good.
No, it's not.
I honestly do think it's just as good.
If we ran that poll, we can run that poll this week
Bacon
on the next
in the
show.
oven versus bacon on the
Because this show is almost over. So we'll do that on the...
the oven for
oven's
bacon?
fine.
No, it's fine.
In a frying pan, it's better. Really?
What's the difference?
I don't know.
Oh, you get that soaked in grease.
The grease is in the pan with the...
Yeah, but no, because you put it on top... Wait, where do you put...
On aluminum foil.
Like
the cookie sheet, then aluminum foil.
You don't put it on like anything to drain...
the cookie sheet, and then you just take the bacon out and you crumple up the aluminum foil and you throw it in the trash. Okay. That's what people do when they bake their bacon.
I mean, you have a thing to cook bacon on.
Just a big cookie sheet.
Yeah, but you don't put everything... Yeah, but you put the bacon on a grill so the...
No. No.
You might start a fucking fire that way. You realize that?
No, that's the way I was taught to do it.
Well, just because you were taught to do it doesn't make it right.
We need episodes of Cust Cooks.
It's not going to cause a fire to bake bacon in the oven.
No, if you let everything pool up in the grease, right? So the bacon is cooking directly in the grease in the oven while you're not monitoring it. What if that catches on fire?
It's not going to.
How do you... You're boiling grease. What do you mean it's not going to? It very well may.
I've done it my whole life. It's never been an issue.
It's a fucking fire hazard, pal. You're afraid to cook it in a frying pan because it might burn you, and you're here sitting grease fires off.
It's never happened.
But there's lots of things that never happened. Just like when you freaked out when we were playing golf and there was lightning and ran away.
I have a great story for the corner. I was talking to my grandmother this morning. I have some great stories. She was being crazy.
So she's crazy, admitted by you. She's the one who's taught you how to do these things.
No, this is a different story. She also washes her bananas with soap and water before she puts them away.
What?
Yeah, she does. I think I might start doing that. She made a very good case for it. Gets rid of bugs.
You scared of the bugs?
I
once found a tarantula when I was working in the produce section doing.
That would be.
They were all dead,
but
there was a bunch of tarantulas in there.
That would be terrifying.
All right. That's it. People are saying this is probably genetic now. But tune in tomorrow night. We can hear all about it then.
Okay.
We'll have time to fill.
We will.
If your house isn't burnt down. You need to put it on something so that it can drain out. Because if you cook the bacon in the grease itself and leave it unattended, the bacon can catch fire.
Right, but it's only in there for like 15 minutes.
That's a lot of time, Tim.
Okay.
It can catch fire. But if you elevate it above, it's unlikely to catch fire because the grease drips off of it. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it is a fire hazard. And you're all about, you're like Mr. Safety.
It never occurred to me that it would be a problem.
So it's only safety if it occurs to you.
No, well, now I'm afraid to do it.
I don't know about that.
I am.
Also, 15 minutes in the oven?
Yeah, 400 degrees, 50 minutes. You're good to go.
I feel like I'm calling shenanigans on this.
Try it.
You live in a condo. You're probably fine. You just burn down everyone else's house.
No. I'm very conscientious. I did not realize it would be. Now I won't be comfortable ever doing it again.
You're probably fine. You're probably fine. Just make sure it's like a deep enough.
It is a pretty deep pan.
Yeah, it's like you just don't want that
It's not a
grease
flat
spilling
cookie
over.
sheet.
Then it could get ugly.
It's got a big dip in it.
But yeah, bacon in the oven is totally acceptable.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying. But, Paul, if you cook bacon in the oven, it's not like you have your cookie sheet, put the bacon on the cookie sheet and put it in. You usually have it elevated on.
You probably want a pan that's like more elevated than like a cookie sheet. Just in case, it's extra fatty bacon and you have extra fat that could start draining over top of the edge. That would be the danger.
Most ovens come with the thing in the bottom where it has like the slits in it. Just put them above the slits, then all the grease can go down through the slits, and then your bacon just is up there. Okay. But also, that's why it only takes you 15 minutes now that I think about it, because you're cooking it literally in a pot of grease. You're basically deep frying it in the oven.
It's delicious, I bet.
That's you know what? The way that you have described doing it in the oven, I can see why it tastes so good, because you're literally deep frying it. I've never had deep fried bacon like that I've cooked myself. Well, I guess you're kind of shallow frying it in its own thing. But the one thing you don't get is cooking the eggs in the bacon fat after you've made the bacon. That's what?
I don't do that.
Why not? You would rather cook them in the microwave than do that.
No, it's not. I would wipe all the grease away.
Weird stuff. Weird and wild.
All right.
Someone asked if you can change your oven clock.
Yes, I did this morning.
Really?
It's a button. Clock.
In one of my cars, it didn't automatically update.
Oh, what a hardship.
Honest to God, I'm thinking about never getting that model again. And like complaining to the people at the dealership. I don't want to fucking have to do this. It's so outrageous. It has 5G in it. It can't update itself. It's fucking outrageous. And we pay a premium for these vehicles.
Yeah, you're right.
This is what they're supposed to do.
You're right.
Outrageous stuff. These people even have their jobs.
I don't know. I don't know how they manage.
Ugh. Horrible stuff. Thank you, Paul. Has Kincaid scored a touchdown yet?
Doesn't seem like the game is probably just kicking off or something.
Was there a tribute to Hamlin before the game?
I don't know. I'm watching you guys. Haven't seen anything about it. But he's not playing, so wouldn't that be kind of weird?
Maybe he's doing the coin toss.
Maybe.
Anyway, follow Tim on Twitter at TimAndercust. We are live tomorrow evening. 8 p.m. Eastern time for Jets and Chargers. Me, Tim, and Jeff will be doing it for as long as we're not canceled for. Or if the game gets out of hand. And I might just leave and go to bed and leave you two guys to deal with what's going on. Because, I don't enjoy doing it all that much. But, yeah, that's going to be a thing. So people ask for it. We have come through for you on it. So please be there. Rate and review the podcast. Smash the like and do all that stuff. And sub to Mayo Media Network. I'll also have the rankings with Sealy tomorrow. Tambo and friends will be live at 2 p.m. Eastern time talking through Monday Night Football. So a ton of stuff on Mayo Media Network. So I hope to see you there. Thank you all for watching. I'm Pat Mayo. I'll see you next time.